Hey YouTube, what's up? I hope you're enjoying this. I don't see anybody there yet, but hope you're enjoying the live stream. Tonight I'm gonna answer several interesting questions. Here, let me fix that here. But I'm gonna answer some exciting questions you might have about YouTubing, about video editing, about worm farming, about chicken keeping, gardening, and any other questions that you all have. So you can start going. I already have some stuff up in the live chat, so you can start commenting if you want. And I'm gonna be showing you some neat stuff tonight. So let's let the fun begin. By the way, we just hit 100 subscribers. Hi there. One commenter says, we got 2 people live. One thumbs up on the live stream already. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and start dropping them. I'm excited to get started. Okay, so first off, if you guys don't have any questions right away, I'm going to show you guys a product that I really like to use when I'm homesteading. It's a good entertainment, and it's got some good advice in it too, especially for the weather. So the Old Farmer's Almanac, I already got the 2020 copy you can see there, but it's got some really neat stuff in it. It's only like $7, I think, so you can order at the Old Farmer's Almanac website, or just get it in like a regular farm supply, like Tractor Supply Co. So this is like a really fun product that I like to read and use for the homestead. So go ahead, check some of the live stream stuff here. Okay, and also got tonight I got this so this is what I use for filming the majority of my videos, this phone right here. And then I just haven't used this tripod yet at all for filming any videos, but it's gonna come in super handy. So it's got these flexi legs, so it's gonna have these 3 legs like that, and then they're waterproof. You can bend them around stuff, you can set it up on stuff, so I can be like, hey there, what's up, what's going on, if I'm filming like one of my just regular videos. So this tripod is going to come in super handy. You can move the legs all around, and yeah. If you guys got any questions about chicken keeping, worm farming, gardening, anything like that, you guys need to drop them in the live chat. That would be great to get this going here. So 5 people watching this. So this is got 5 people watching. That's sweet. But Paula Wells said, what are your plans for next year for your homestead? So if you guys know, outside I have the old chicken coop, I have the new chicken tractor, and then I have the raised bed garden. Not currently using it right now. There's snow on the ground a little bit out there, but I'm going to be using that raised bed garden. I'm going to expand it a little bit and grow more stuff in there next year. And then in the where the chicken tractor is now, and then on both ends of it, I have leaves that I piled up. You guys haven't really seen any of those yet. One of the videos I put out had a little of those in there, but I just recently put more leaves on both ends of the chicken tractor. That's going to be like their run area. I'm going to shovel the snow away from that when we get a lot of snow later on this winter, so the chickens can be in that area. And then on the summertime, we'll move the chicken tractor out, rotate it around grazing on pasture like we did this summer. And then I'm going to use that whole area around by the cabbage pen, the raised bed garden, the old chicken coop, chicken tractor. That's all going to be a really good garden area. The soil is already really rich there, especially around the old chicken coop. And I had a volunteer tomato plant growing there earlier this year. If you guys have been following along for a few months on the channel. So that's what the plans are for next year. Also, maybe I might be getting 3 more chickens. The limit in town is 8 chickens, so we'll have to see if that happens. So that would be my limit, and hopefully we can get those, because then we have more farm fresh eggs. And check the comments. Still got 4 people watching this. Wow. But more plans for next year include the main garden. the soil is getting depleted of nutrients and stuff like that. So we're going to be moving the chicken tractor and a new pen I'm going to build next year also around the garden with the flock in the summer. Around about half of that. Maybe I'll do some cover crops and stuff. And I'll be turning that half of the garden into more of a nutrient-rich area, and then we'll just be growing in the other half of the garden. We'll be growing crops that do good even without a lot of work and soil nutrients. So things like green beans that actually help the soil get better. We will be growing that in the garden. We will be growing a few tomatoes, although it's not as many. We'll be growing cucumbers and some squash in the main garden. But all the potatoes, carrots, and onions and lettuce has to be in a fence around here because otherwise the deer will eat it. All that's going to be back in the raised bed garden and then in the new garden area around that. And then Press 7304 says, what are your plans for your worms and how are they doing so far? So I'm just going to keep the same herd of worms there. I'm not going to be adding any more worms. There's plenty of worms down there. They're doing good. And next spring, I plan to harvest some more worms worm castings for potting soil, homemade potting soil, so we don't have to buy any. But the worms are a really interesting thing. Some people feed the worms to their chickens, the leftover worms to their chickens for sources of protein, and I think that's something that you can do that is definitely it's definitely more sustainable because you're feeding food scraps to the worms. They're eating them. You're feeding them to your chickens. You don't have to buy chicken feed. It's a little bit healthier than some chicken feed, maybe, and it's a little bit healthier than some chicken feed, maybe. And you're getting the worm castings too, which are super black and rich and really good for your soil. Somebody says deer ate all. Yeah, the deer around here were terrible this past summer. They ate our peas. Like every time they're about to flower and produce a crop of peas, they ate the top right off. They ate our beans down to the ground. They ate our lettuce if they could try to get into the raised bed, and basically they just destroyed a lot of stuff. They even ate green tomatoes. Like, have you ever seen an animal eat green tomatoes? That's just not naturally occurring. So maybe it had chronic wasting disease. I don't know. Let me know. Have you ever heard of an animal eating green tomatoes? Like, even the chickens wouldn't do that. Maybe they'll eat like yellow tomatoes, partially ripe ones, but they won't eat plain green tomatoes. So yeah, the deer really kind of wrecked a lot of stuff in the garden this summer. So in the main garden next year, where they can get the stuff, we're just going to grow stuff like squash that they don't eat anyway. And I'm going to try some deterrent things for the green beans. Hopefully they're not as hungry next year. And our mealworms good for chickens, Paula Wells says. They're pretty good for chickens. They're a good source of protein. They say you should have about 1/3 protein, 1/3 grains and stuff, and 1/3 greens is the ideal diet for your chickens. I could go with that. I'd say that's probably about right. So yeah, they're probably pretty good for your chickens, and I'd say mealworms, worms, chickens seem to love them. You can even buy them. Some farm stores even like sell them dead in a bag. I'm sure they prefer the live kind, but I might be getting into that too next year. We'll have to see if I do mealworms or not. And somebody says, I know an animal that eats green tomatoes. Well, I'd like to know what that animal is, but besides deer. But yeah, the deer have really been going after my tomatoes this last summer. There was the first crop of tomatoes. They're big and green and good looking. And then they got eaten. Oh, humans, they say. Yeah, humans do eat green tomatoes if they want to. There's green ketchup. But the deer really destroyed our garden. You try for a deer deterrent? I don't know. Some people say you can use like hair. If you cut your hair, you can take your hair out there and spread it around the garden. I guess it couldn't hurt. I'd try that next time. Or there's SSL Family Dad. Let me know on the channel. But they did a video summer of 2018 where he put up T-posts and then he stretched some just regular fishing line between the T-posts, and then hoping the deer. He stretched it maybe 3 times on the T-post, so it was like 1, 2, 3 strands all the way down, and then you would do that, and then you hope the deer see they feel the point of it is the deer feel the fishing line, but then they can't figure out what it is because they can't see it, and then they get scared and then they just leave the area alone. So maybe that would be enough to deter them. I'd have to pick up some T-posts, but yeah. Mary Gardner says they sell them in the birdseed section. Mealworms. We eat fried green tomatoes. Yep. And they do sell mealworms in the birdseed section. Wild birds like them too. And they sell them in blocks. They sell them in bags, and then they sell them in the chicken feed section at a lot of places like Tractor Supply and stuff like that. So, yeah. Don Gardner says, do you have a batch of snow? I'm guessing they mean bunch of snow. We have about 6 inches, but it hasn't been raining. Not much left now. I think Don lives in Michigan. Yeah, we have a dusting of snow out there. We got maybe an inch, Sunday. But the snow on Sunday was very wet and it was very warm on Sunday. Probably 35 or 40 degrees, so that almost all the way melted. Now it's cold enough. If we got snow, it would stay. But we only have a little bit of a dusting now. So Benito Cole says, hi, Al. And your deterrent. Urine, pie, pans, onions, garlic planted as border. Yep, all those I have heard will work as well. They sell the worms in Petco and PetSmart too. You just have to know where to look for the live worms. Yep. We did, back when I was in 3rd grade, we did like a mealworms experiment. We basically raised mealworms, raised them into beetles, and then did the experiment where they laid their eggs and then hatched them out into mealworms. And yep, we got the mealworms, the original mealworms at PetSmart, I believe. Also, you can buy them online and other places like that. So that's where you can get them if you want to store those. They're really not hard to take care of. I think it's just like whole wheat flour to live in. And then you got to feed them potatoes or apples cut up or something for water and food, something like that. Or you can feed them grain, some sort of grain, and then I don't know exactly what it is. I can't recall exactly what it was. But, yeah, you can feed them that, and then apples or potatoes cut up for water. And free food for the chickens. Yep, mealworms are free food for the chickens, especially if you do it in a sustainable system. And oatmeal, I believe. Yep, you can feed them. You probably could feed them oatmeal, wheat, stuff like that. Somebody else says, I don't know how to get live mealworms. Yeah. You can get live mealworms at like a pet store or a pet store. You can buy them online, lots of different places. Also, guys, remind you right now to take a break to hit thumbs up on the live stream. Thanks, guys. If we don't get any more comments coming in here fast, I'm gonna say, hey, Al. Okay. Somebody says, okay. I'm gonna, just so you guys know, there's a lot of people that joined in. They haven't seen, they haven't seen this new tripod yet. I filmed the majority of my videos right here on this phone right here. And this new tripod that I got will help to basically help me film my videos a little bit easier. So this can sit on stuff. You can bend the legs like that. And yeah, it's really, I think it's waterproof too. So yeah. And I'll show you guys something else here real quick. This is a magazine I really like. If you're into raising your own chickens, I would totally get Chickens Magazine subscription. Just go to hobbyfarms.com, and then you'll be able to find something right at the top. But this is not sponsored, by the way. I just really like Chickens Magazine. I got all my magazines sitting right here from Chickens Magazine. really like what they have. They provide useful information and yeah. Oh, we got 4 thumbs up on the live stream now. 9 people watching. Sweet. But yeah, Chicken Magazine. Go check it out or read some articles too at hobbyfarms.com. Catch up on the comments. Yes, I live in northern Michigan. You have a good night. Get up very early and press 7304 says that looks handy. Thanks. Looking back, I got a lot of old Chickens magazines here. So they got ones for comes out in the spring chick days to help you raise your spring chicks. Here, let me adjust my lighting a little bit. There we go. Okay, so basically they have articles that come out in the spring, help you raise your spring chicks, and stuff like that. Wow, a lot of comments piling up in a live chat. That's awesome. So any more questions, drop them in the live chat, guys. I need to get that light fixed next time I do a live chat. I'm gonna put up like a screen or something right up next to the light. That would help. But next time I'll do that. I'll be sure to do that. But be sure to drop any more questions you have on worm farming or chicken keeping, gardening, anything like that. Or I can talk more about my plans for gardening next year by the chicken tractor. So we don't get any more comments in a little bit here. I'll just talk about my plans for gardening by where the chicken tractor is currently. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about gardening for a little bit here. My plans next year are to turn that into a nice looking area with lots of squash plants, lots of tomato plants, lots of flowers for bouquets, stuff like that, and just to make it look nice. We had a volunteer tomato plant. Unfortunately, it didn't start growing till July or August this year. So it was going by the coop. I got some tomatoes. They're still ripening. I don't think they got the full size. They're down on the counter. And that tomato plant was the healthiest I've ever grown. So if I could get one started out in, late May, early June, like the normal tomato plant, and that environment, it's black dirt, earthworms. Like the chickens have really enhanced the soil in that area. If I could do that next year, I think the plants would just be awesome. They'd be maybe 6-7 feet tall. If I staked them correctly, I'd have squash plants just producing pumpkins like crazy. And I'm thinking about trying to grow some tomatoes in big pots out there, just to experiment and to do something fun for the channel. I'm thinking that would be really cool to do that with some like chicken manure and worm castings in the pot. So I'm gonna go ahead, add my live stream here. Uh-oh. The chat is disabled for this live stream, so I'm going to have to fix that. Thanks for sticking with it, guys. I don't know. I'm guessing it saw me in here and I got that YouTube bug thing. So I'm going to, guys, stick around. I'm going to end this chat and then I'm going to come back with another one because YouTube isn't letting you guys do the live chat and it needs to let you do that. So I'm going to stick around, guys. I'm going to be just back in just a sec, okay?